Let's get back to business, shall we? After an interesting DD2 Masters race, we now head into our last pre-final of the weekend. This time, it is the big one. Senior Rotax. Here's your grid. 36 drivers, a full capacity grid after 45 drivers were whittled down after the second chance heat earlier on today. Pole position after the intermediate classification is Mike van Vugt, who's won a couple of BNL Karting Series titles as a junior. This time he's racing as a senior. Alongside him will be Scotland's Lewis Gilbert, the Dual-Ride Diamond in the 329. Mads Lees and Sean Butcher, row 2. Stormbra, Dylan LaHaye, row 3. Jules Castro and Bradley Barrett, row 4. Milan Coppens and Lachlan Robinson round out the top 10. Dave Blom, Teresa Babikova, Vincent France, Justin Polman, Luca Leistra, Ilian Brunsils, Bas Janssen, Anthony Boulou, Emily De Hoys and Andres Herbert round out the top 20. Completing the 36 strong as they go onto the formation lap, it's Fabian Bock, Vincent van Kerkhoven, Ben Burgess, Lars Zanen, Victor Plateau, Mario Sidler, Jeff Machiels, Manel Garofitona, Alexander Bentley, Arthur Horsch, and the 6 qualifiers from the second chance heat, Jordi van der Eyck, Robin Knudson, Flint Schuring, Kian Sang, Scott Westhovens, and Clementine Benoit. 13 minutes set on the timer. Drivers getting themselves ready. And you can just see how intent they are. They now have to get into formation, so it will be down to Van Vugt and Gilbert to bring the 36 strong 18-row drivers into formation. A rivalry could be reignited here. It started in juniors when I started commentating on the BNL Karting Series in October 2018. Now it is August 2020. Van Vugt, Gilbert, Rees, Butcher, Brewer, LaHaye, Castro, Barrett, Coppens and Robinson. We go off and away. Senior Rotax is heading down into turns 1 and 2. Gilbert to the outside takes the lead from Van Vugt. Little bit of a tussle. Forward coming out of turn 2. Gilbert on the inside retakes the lead as we've had 2 carts off. Oh my goodness. And we've had more dramas. There's a little bit of debris that's been flung out from one of the carts that might have just been caught. Oh, we've had someone going off into the dirt through turn 6. Manages to rejoin, but that was so close. As we've got everyone streaming all the way down to turn 7. Lewis Gilbert leads. And it is Mike van Vugt. It is getting 2. Archie-bargy. There's more carts in dramas off of turn 7. Oh, my goodness me. Looks to be, I think, maybe Flint Schuring might have been involved there. I'm not too sure. I'll find out as they come through. Dave Blom did not start the race as a result. As there goes the 318 of Fabian Bock up the inside of Justin Polman from SP Motorsport for position. Lewis Gilbert gets a bit of a lead ahead of Mike van Vugt. Mads Lees, Dylan LaHaye, Sean Butcher, Bradley Barrett up to 6, Milan Coppens, Lachlan Robinson in 8th, Vincent France, Teresa Babikova rounds out the top 10 ahead of Lucas Leistra. Oh, more dramas, 344, that's Milan Coppens. Milan Coppens out. Who's the other cart? That can't be Lachlan Robinson. Robinson was in the dramas in one of the heats in the latter part of the afternoon, and that's Coppens trying to rejoin, but trying to do so safely. Otherwise, he will get a penalty for an unsafe rejoin. And this is where things are really going to get difficult now, because these drivers really have to start to steel themselves. And we have seen before that a lot of drivers have ended up out on the end of things, and another driver off. Oh my goodness me. Off of coming out of turn number 8, and they are slipping and sliding off of the curb. Someone went sideways. That could have been Robin Knudson, I believe. These conditions are so difficult to anticipate, because now Lewis Gilbert is powering away. It looks like, I think that is, let's have a look who is in 3rd position, Sean Butcher. And I'm just seeing what I thought I didn't want to see. Is Lachlan Robinson involved in another incident, and Bradley Barrett's having a bit of a drama in his own right. The conditions are getting worse out there. Is there more rain falling on the track? I'm trying to have a look outside of my window, because if that's the case, the senior Rotax drivers, now there is a yellow flag. There's a slippery surface flag. Rain looks to be falling. That is going to change everything, because now, Mike van Vugt is leading. What's happened to Lewis Gilbert? Where is Lewis Gilbert at the moment? Oh my goodness, this is absolutely chaos and pandemonium. Because now, at the moment, Mike van Vleuten I don't think is leading. There is Lewis Gilbert, and he's ahead of the 3:21. And that is Andreas Hebau. So Lewis Gilbert and the driver that is leading, I think that is, oh my goodness, more dramas. And that is the 3:23. Oh no, more of them sliding off the track. And that is Flint Schuring, one of the 6 second chance heat qualifiers. Van Vleuten has lost the lead to Sean Butcher. Dylan LaHaye, the defending champion, in P3. Mads Rees in 4th. Lewis Gilbert down to 5th place. Now the Duroy Diamond has some work to do. Andreas Hebert, Bradley Barrett, Luca Leistra, Ben Burgess, and rounding out the top 10 representing the Czech Republic is Teresa Babikova. Oh, that is the most frantic 3.5 minutes this weekend so far. And by having those slippery surface flags off of the exit of turn number 7, that means it is all changed. Because Van Vleuten was leading the intermediate classification, the pre-final and the final this time around, as you can just see how sideways drivers are going. And again, drivers are pushing to the absolute limit. Ilian Brunsils, who started down in 16th, now into P11. Butcher has a lead over Van Vleuten of about 0.5 of a second. LaHaye, Rees, Gilbert now battling away over 3rd position. As the field makes its way, it's nearly 2 abreast. Oh, someone really getting a bit caught out by the conditions. Everyone trying to get one up on the other in these this difficult situation. So the drivers now really have to... Oh no! Someone's off again off of turn 4 into turn 5. Kicking up the dust. So Stormbrower down to the back of the order. Lachlan Robinson now down in 33rd position. Flint Schuring has been in the wars. Stormbrower has been in the wars. Stormbrower was P5. So these difficult conditions, it can be raining in one part of the circuit and be completely bone dry the other. I need to just get my breath for a second as there's a bit more drama. Dylan LaHaye has lost out to Mads Rees and Lewis Gilbert. So must have had a problem coming through with regards to traction through turn 12. Onto the start-finish straight. Bradley Barrett is just behind Andreas Hebert, who rounds out the top 6. Then it is Luca Leistra. As there's more dramas, there is the 3:43 of Ben Burgess, I believe, getting stuck in and trying to wrestle with the car, trying to stop the back end from breaking traction. This is about a race of survival. It is not about sometimes, but you know what the senior Rotax drivers do? They will send it if they have an opportunity. Oh, more carnage at turn 7. 3 karts I count involved. One of them is from GKS Lemons Power. Again, more dramas as the drivers really are having to battle with these conditions, let alone battling with each other. As I think that Lewis Gilbert has dropped a couple more places. He has. Bradley Barrett gets passed by Andreas Hebert. Luca Leistra behind Lewis Gilbert, who's dropped down out of the top 5. Sean Butcher leading. Mike van Vleuten, Mads Rees, Dylan LaHaye, Andreas Hebert. Brad Barrett getting slingshotted past by Lewis Gilbert, or is he? He will do as Gilbert gets to run into turn 2. Bradley Barrett gets back up the inside of the Scottish driver through into the approach into turn 3. Luca Leistra not too far behind. Ilian Brunsils now up to P9 past Teresa Babikova, and more drivers getting a bit more sideways. Slippery surface flag being held between turns 3 and 4. The rain looks to be enveloping the circuit at a rate of knots, and these drivers are very, very brave to go out on the tyre choice that they have. But even so, as there's more drama, that is for the 377 of Clémentine Benoit. So Benoit having a bit more dramas as Lewis Gilbert battling away with Andreas Hebert for position. This is for P5. As there's more dramas, more sideways action as drivers going down into turn 10. So Gilbert now trying to really get a handle on the conditions, as is everybody else. And at the moment, Stormbrower has retired. Lachlan Robinson now up into P27 and trying to move up the order. Bradley Barrett gets past Andreas Hebert, who fires it up the inside of the Brit. Oh, and Lewis Gilbert pounces past a pair of them. Luca Leistra trying to capitalise and goes around the outside of Andreas Hebert through turn 4. I cannot believe I've just seen that with my very own eyes, let alone the screen in front of me in the commentary box, as it's nearly 3 wide going through turn 4 yet again. You cannot... Oh, I cannot believe this. I see one thing, then I see another, as it's 2 by 2 coming out of turn number 6. This is really getting gnarly in terms of a surfing orientation here, because there's no hanging 10. It's like more like hanging on, because no one wants to relinquish position, because in many respects a lot of drivers will be thinking, how can I get through this? How can I just survive and set myself up, as there's a battle going on between Fabian Bock and Lars Zanen for P12. Sean Butcher now has a lead of over a second over Mike Van Voost. Mads Rees and Dylan LaHaye are closing. Lewis Gilbert up past Bradley Barrett for P5. Luca Lystra, Andreas Heber being swarmed over the back bumper as Ilian Brunsils, the returning Ilian Brunsils, very, very much fired up, and up for a scrap is the Buvin Power driver. Justin Pohlman rounds out the top 10. Jules Castro, Lars Zanen, Fabian Bock, Teresa Babikova, Emily de Hoys has made her way from 19th position up into P15. As there's more dramas there, and off the track has gone the 385. Anthony Bellou from France will drop down a few positions as a result of that off-track excursion, as there's more 2x2 side-by-side hurrah coming out of turn 9. And one of them, I think that might be, I'm just seeing, Robin Knutsson has been making some steady progress in this race, and the Swede started all the way down. I'm just looking where Robin Knutsson actually started this race, and I'm so disorientated, it's being difficult to look at the grid at the moment. Oh, well, there we go. 3 minutes and 30 seconds still on the clock to go. And Robin Knutsson started in 32nd position. He's now up into P18, a gain of 14 positions over the last 9.5 minutes. We're getting into the dying phase of this race. I am perspiring like nobody's business in here, let alone there being an ice cold breeze. As soon as you see all of this happening, your senses are bombarded at every single angle. All 5 senses of them. Not 6, because I'm not psychic in any way, shape or form. That's why I don't do predictions. But Sean Butcher is being reeled in. Mike Van Voost now up, still keeping in touching distance. He's about half a second away from Sean Butcher. Maz Rees, Dylan LaHaye, Lewis Gilbert, Bradley Barrett ran out the top 6. Jules Castro ahead of Justin Pohlman. Teresa Babikova, Emily de Hoys ran out the top 15. Lachlan Robinson is making some more steady progress, even with that incident earlier on with I think it was Milan Koppens. Now is up into what is P24. So Justin Pohlman looks to have the likes of Lars Zanen and Fabian Bock battling away. Bock has got past Zanen as they head down into turn 10. Pohlman to the inside, Bock to the outside. Can't get through as Lewis Gilbert goes up the inside of Dylan LaHaye for P4. Now he's just saying as Van Voost is pressurising Butcher, and side by side they go. A little bit of attack from behind by Maz Rees on Mike Van Voost, nearly sends the Dutchman sideways through turn 3 and 4. Oh, that was very, very close. Maz Rees really fired up to go for a victory here. And we are fast running out of time. As quickly as it started, as quickly as it unravelled, it is quickly coming to a very close end. This senior Rotax pre-final, as now Van Voost has been passed by Mads Rees. Lewis Gilbert was in the initial lead, having started on the front row alongside Van Voost. But Van Voost now showing that he can compete in senior Rotax. And this has been an interesting display from the young Dutchman, running the 376. Looks to be in the RBM colours as well. But Butcher now has Mads Rees and Van Voost within 5.5 tenths of a second of him. As there's a bit more argy-bargy a bit further down the order as Ilian Brunsils has got past Bradley Barrett. He's finding off Jules Castro, who's gone up the inside of the brick going through turn 4. Nice bit of aggressive but clean and fair racing from him. As now the top 3 are going to be closed in on. Lewis Gilbert has got the bee in the bonnet, the fire in the belly, the knife between his teeth. And he is out for some argy-bargy in a clean, fair sense of the word. Senior Rotax never fails to amaze. More drivers going up the order. Vincent France up to P15. Lars Zanen and Fabian Bock now up into 12th and 11th respectively. Andreas Hebert past Bradley Barrett. Lachlan Robinson now getting his way towards the top 20. This is the penultimate lap. Butcher will now be pressurised by Ries and Van Vugt. They go through into turn 3. Lewis Gilbert not that far behind now. This is going to be an absolute powder keg at the front of the field as they go through into turn 6. Now on the back straightaway. Butcher still leading, hanging on by a thread. Ries up the inside, into the lead, into turn 7. Van Vugt and Lewis Gilbert run on the back bumper of the Brit. Oh my goodness me. This is going to be a duel all the way through to the checkered flag as Lewis Gilbert trying to find his way past Mike Van Vugt for P3 to get his opportunity. Ries now leads going into turn 10, into the left at turn 11. Still an even Stevens, a stalemate as Butcher retakes the lead on the inside. Van Vugt tries to go up the inside of Ries, going down the start finish straight as we go on to the final lap of the race. This has really changed the action-packed Fiore of the weekend as Lewis Gilbert looks over his left shoulder and sees Dylan LaHaye in close proximity. And the defending champion in this class from last season, wanting to get in. He is in the tow, it's Dylan LaHaye. It's a 5-way scrap. Now, this is 5 more corners to go. Butcher starts breaking away like he needed to guarantee him the opportunity to go into the final later on this afternoon to conclude the action ahead of everybody else. Into turn 10, the right-hand sweeper. Van Vugt, LaHaye up the inside of Gilbert, up for P4. Ran into the final corner, Sean Butcher will see the checkered flag being brandished. It is now going to wave. He starts celebrating and he crosses the line, takes the win. The 357 from KR Sport wins the pre-final in Senior Rotax. Mads Ries, Mike Van Vugt, Dylan LaHaye and Lewis Gilbert, your top 5. And man, am I out of breath. Can someone find me a dark room and give me my medicine, please? Wow. We had everything in this. Slippery surface flags, inclemental weather conditions, but above all, Sean Butcher started P4, wins the race. Mads Ries, 3rd, finishes 2nd. Mike Van Vugt was on pole, finishes 3rd. Dylan LaHaye in 6th, finishes 4th, ahead of Lewis Gilbert. Andreas Hebert, Luca Leistra, Ilian Brunsils, Jules Castro and Bradley Barrett ran out the top 10. Fabian Bock in 11th, ahead of Lars Zanen, Justin Pohlmann, Vincent France, Teresa Barbikova running out the top 15. Milan Koppens in 16th, ahead of Lachlan Robinson, who recovered very well indeed. The driver from the UAE, the sole UAE entrant, I might add, this weekend in the 316, ahead of Emily de Huyes. Robin Knutson up to P19 at the end of that, ahead of Ben Burgess, who rounds out the top 20. Then rounding out the order, it's Kian Sang, Baz Janssen, Victor Plateau, Arthur Horsch, Flint Schuring, Manel Galofretona, Vincent van Kerkhoven, Jordi van der Eyck, Mario Sidler, Clementine Benoit, Scott Westhovens, Jeff Machiels, Alexander Bentley being the last of the 33 drivers that completed the race, with Anthony Boulou and Storm Breuer not finishing and Dave Blom not even starting.